Condition orange. Condition orange. Situation Delta in effect. Please enter your agent number now, followed by the hash key.
You have to create culture. Don't watch TV. Don't read magazines. Don't even listen to NPR.
The time comes when silence is betrayal.
Think for yourself. Question authority.
This code has been compromised.
It's the last hour already. We got Jonathan with us. We got a lot of callers on the line. Tucson has been waiting for almost an hour, as well as California, so I want to get to their calls. They've been so patient. Arizona, you got the floor.
What's up, fellas?
Hey, man, thanks for calling.
Hey, what's up?
Yeah, it's been too long. Yeah, I love this station, man. I don't mind waiting an hour. Intelligent people that get it.
And we appreciate we appreciate the intelligent callers like yourself, the intelligent audience.
Well, I hope I don't disappoint. Hey, I got a question for you guys. What do you guys know about level 3 hurricane on the day of 9/11? You guys know anything about that?
The one that sat off the coast and never made landfall?
Yes. Yeah, 200 miles off the northeast coast. Is that a real story?
Yeah, that's a real story. It's a very interesting one.
Unbelievable, man. Unbelievable. And the thing that killed me the other day, a buddy of mine was telling me, he wasn't aware of it either. And when he started telling it to me, I kind of just, perked up. And then he's like, they said it left 11 days later. And I just started cracking up, man. I'm like, that tells me everything I need to know about weather manipulation and what I pretty much was 100% confident that they could do anyways. If they can do that, it's just amazing what's been going on. And there's just something to this, because I think of, I don't know if you guys got an electric toothbrush. You guys have an electric toothbrush? You know what I'm talking about, where it just sits in that plastic cradle?
Sure.
Oh, yeah. I know.
Makes me think, my mother-in-law, she just bought one of these Priuses, and the cradle there, you just set the smartphone down, and it charges the phone. So they've obviously been able to do this, some type of transfer of energy, because I don't see any metal touching metal. How the hell do they do that? And they've obviously been able to do it for a long, long time. So, I mean, the energy they had to take to bring them towers down are just something beyond what we can comprehend.
Right. That's a great point. For anyone who doesn't know about this hurricane, you can look it up. It's on the Weather Channel's website. It's a real hurricane. It was called Hurricane Erin. And, they said it could have been a disastrous hurricane if it made landfall. So I agree with you. I have the same perspective as you. This is no coincidence that this hurricane was just sitting off the shore and that it went back out 11 days later. It proves that we're in an advanced age of technology, and we're being played with and made fun of. And when
it's obviously man-made.
When I first learned about this hurricane after Katrina. That's when I first found out about it personally in my own research. And back then, Hurricane Katrina was the first time I was speculating if our nation had the technology to do what was achieved when Katrina happened. And the reason I was so curious about that at the time is because for a whole week, if you can remember the news coverage before Katrina happened, for the whole week before Katrina happened, the news were saying, man, this could be just so bad in New Orleans. This could be so bad. And for the media to prep the nation for a full week, how could the federal government not be ready? How couldn't they just be ready and
speaking of Hurricane Katrina, before I lose my train of thought, I mean, what is this story that they haven't reported where they just got the, second most rain, after Hurricane Katrina? They got like 20 inches in a day or some ridiculous, enormous amount of rain that no one's talking about. Have you heard of that?
Yeah.
Have you heard of that?
I actually missed that headline. I got to look that up.
No, but what's so
check
crazy
this one
about
out. I just heard about it today. I'm like, are you kidding me? Nobody's reporting this. Nobody.
What's crazy?
Even what the hell's his name? The guy the chemtrail guy, the Dave Winnington. He's not even reporting it.
Huh.
Listen, I was in Miami when Katrina came through, and it was a 1, right? And we were just playing outside. Yeah. And then a couple of days later, we saw it go through the Gulf and turn into a 5 and just destroy New Orleans. But when I was in Miami and it was a 1 and we were playing outside and it was like nothing. Yeah. We thought it was a joke. And then a couple of days later, we watched the news like, wow.
The clown I work with, he was there on the day of 9/11, and he's basically told me I was crazy for even thinking something like that because it was clear blue skies. I said, yeah, Mike, I read that. I know that. I said, what are you, a weatherman? Well, I took science class. This is a guy who works at the freaking post office. Get the hell out of here, man. It's like, it's just, it's frustrating as hell. And I should have listened to you, but I am waking people up, Zach. I know you shouldn't be talking to people at work, but I just can't help myself, dude. I just can't help myself.
Well, good for you, man, because more people need to be like you, and thanks for having the courage to do it. But I'm glad you're waking people up. That's awesome. That means you're doing it right.
Hey, you know what? The crazy thing, you know how I'm waking them up? These freaking rigged leagues, dude. Anybody listening right now who's doubtful of this stuff and, whether you can make money on these games individually as opposed to out future bets, I'm doing it every day, brother, and I owe it to you, and I haven't forgot about you. More's coming on the way, man, every day. And you know what it is? It's Gematria, not numerology. It's always there, but a lot of times you're going to get tossed up on numerology. Gematria, that's the bread and butter, buddy. And that's why everybody is trying to get us away from this, because this is real. This is everything. It's where the goodies are, people. I'm telling you. And I don't need to tell you that. All I did was listen to you for over a year, and I applied this myself. I mean, I had to do a lot of footwork. I learned it from you, but there was more to it. And it's taken me about a year, Zach, but I figured it out, dude. And that's thanks to you.
Hey, man, good work. I'm glad to hear you're winning. Other people out there are winning, so keep it up.
I mean, it's just it's Gematria. That's what it is. That's why they're trying to get everybody away from it. I get on some of these sports blogs, and these guys are, they talk crap about you, and this, Gematria, and this. It's like, I don't even say anything. I'm just on there watching because, they're losing. They're not winning. Right. You're not going to win at this. There's a reason why over 90% of people lose at this. They know the outcome before they get on the field, people. It's all part of it. It's all part of it. To it. But that's just a part of it, and it's a big part of it. It's as important as I call the hollow hopes. This is what keeps us in line.
Right.
So wake up, people. Wake up.
You learn this code. You see how these sports leagues are a joke. Bryce Harper, one of the biggest stars in the MLB, injured running to first base. His injury came exactly 65 days before his birthday. Injury equals 65, so does Bryce Harper. Same thing with the Cubs catcher, injured by the numbers. And it's just nonstop. Right. You learn the code. You see how the games are rigged to the point. You see how the storylines on and off the field are by the numbers. It's all just a show.
It's so stupid. I told these guys, they're Dodgers fans. I told a guy, it was a couple of weeks ago, the Dodgers were, they're the highest team in baseball. It was on a date with 74 numerology. I said, they're going to win. Of course they won. Then just, last week, I said the same thing. I said it was a date. The Dodgers were sitting at 32 losses. It was on a date with 33 numerology. I mean, come on, people. It's right there in front of your face. and they're doing it every day. It's not exact. It's not exact, but you got to be brain dead to not see this and see that this is going on. I mean, because it's not scientific to know 100% exactly where they're going to go with the code. But when you can predict what you've done in now, over 3 years in news and sports and entertainment, I mean, it don't even take a splinter brain to figure this out, people.
It shouldn't.
And you know what? We got to stop being scared, too. We got to stop being scared. I'm sick and tired of people not calling these people out for who they are. I'm not talking about regular Jews. I'm talking about Zionist Jews who hide behind all this. They're the one point, and we got to. That people need to know that. You know, I'm sick of this. You know, Illuminati, 1%ers, all this. Who do you think gives you all that? Got to figure it out, people. It's right there in front of your face.
Right. And just as a reminder,
every day,
everybody can go out and check out the movie Wag the Dog. Wag the Dog. You got to watch that movie.
How do you not? I mean, oh my God. Hey, and everything's like that. They put it in front of your face. You know, I remember calling you and talking about the Macaulay. I don't think that's how you pronounce the name, but how you made that connection to Christy Macaulay and the Dodge Challenger. Right. And I told everybody about that today at work, and I'm like, this is like this all the time, people. Is this a coincidence? Every time now I say, is this a coincidence? And it gets to a point to where, you know, I'm probably just rubbing it in their face, but, I mean, it's like, you're acting like a child. Why are you fighting this? Wake up. Get over it.
That's the word, man. Us as a society, we're children. That's what it's like. It's like the powers that shouldn't be, these Zionists. It's like they're the adults. They're our parents, and we're the unknowing little ignorant children. You know, like how when a parent that likes to mess with their child, you know, like they'll joke with them, something that the child doesn't understand. It's above their understanding. So it's easy for the parent to joke with them, put it all right in front of their face, and the kid can't connect it because it's not in their consciousness. That's exactly what it's like with the people who torment us. And those of us in the population, we're the ones who've taken the time to grow up and become more adult-like and more knowing so that we can see how our parents are making fun of us. And most of our peers, they're children that just want to eat cookies and play hide and seek, and they don't want to know about nothing else.
Yeah. Right. It's disgusting when you see it for what it is, man. Hey, I thank you for totally waking me up. And that's the weird thing about this whole environment that we're in. You got people that are totally asleep, then some people that kind of know certain things, and then some people that are a little bit awake, and then some people that think they're awake, but they're not. You know,
right.
You know, it's crazy, man. It's crazy, but you know what? I like it. I would never take it back. I'm not knowing the truth. Truth should be a good thing. What is wrong with this, people? You know, that should be a great thing. We should all strive to know really what the truth is.
I wish everyone was like you, brother. I appreciate the call, man. Call us back.
Thanks a lot, man. I took up too much of your time. All right.
Not at all.
Good night.
You too, man. You take care. It's always good to hear your voice. Keep on keeping on. I would have kept. I'd let everyone talk longer. I like to hear people's voices, but there's a long line here. We got to go out to Fort Bragg, California. Had the caller on the line for over an hour. Thank you so much for your patience.
Hey there, Zach.
Hello.
I'm relatively new to this, and I find it, you know, I'm a math person, and I thought of you the other day when I saw that that license plate on that car in Virginia.
Right. The
VGF 1111.
Right.
Did you notice that?
I did notice that. When I first heard the story, I know they reported that there was no plates on the car, which was how they made the mistake. But then when they showed the news footage of it, I said, "Oh, well, there's a plate right on that car," and yeah, that number popped right out.
Okay. And you know, the other thing, you know, because I've seen quite a few of your videos, and like I said, I'm a math person and I'm somewhat knowledgeable about computers and stuff. But for me to see that, when you're talking about all these sports things, and I'm not really sports, but I've watched quite a few sports, and of course I've watched wrestling, which to me I know is a big act. Okay, I can see that's an act. But when I see baseball and when I see football, you know, I don't see the act. Do you see
Really?
what I'm saying?
Well, okay, so...
Well, maybe you do because you're sport. You're really into sports, and you could maybe that I could see that they could be that good of an actor.
Sure,
in my mind. But
that's
also, to me, I see only a computer could do all this. Put all these pieces. I mean, that you put it all together. I think that's amazing. But I mean that they could any of these guys out here are that smart.
Well, think about it. I mean, these coaches on the sidelines, there's a lot of them. You got people up in the boxes. They're taking notes.
Yeah.
They're keeping track of the pitch count in the baseball game. They're keeping track of the play count in the football game. This is what they're doing. And it's because these are rituals. These people are operating ritualistically. And the thing is, unless you play these sports, unless you're familiar with the sport, unless you have the ability to understand, it's really hard to see. But for somebody who understands the sport of football, let's just say, if you watched last year's Super Bowl, you better have seen the way the Falcons gave away the game to the Patriots. They gave it away on offense and on defense, and there's absolutely no argument. And the thing is, what validates my words, before the game was played, I said the Patriots would win, and it was all about the number 25. The Patriots achieved a record 25-point comeback, plus so much more. And it's just it's.
But the other thing is actually playing the game.
That's
you know what I'm saying? Like I played baseball since I was little. Baseball, basketball, football, all these sports. Like my cousin, he's the starting safety for Florida State right now on the football team. So that's the other thing too. When you and I know Zach, I know you're a hell of an athlete as well. You see what I'm saying? But when you actually played the sport, you can tell how fake it is. You know what I'm saying? Because we've been playing this game. So when we watch it on TV, it's easy for us to detect how fake it is.
Sure.
You see what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying.
So I was going to make the point. With the Super Bowl, if you understand the sport, you saw how they gave it away. The same thing happened in the final game of the World Series. The Cubs had a huge lead. If it was a football game, they might as well have been up 50 points. Yeah. And the coach made all sorts of very questionable decisions that allowed the game to come back and be this exciting time.
We're being played every which way.
Right. And when you know the Gematria, the Cubs won the World Series in the 10th inning with a 39-year-old hitting a home run. When you write out 10 as a word, it sums to 39, plus there was a million other 39 things with it. You just see how these rituals are being done. And
I have another real quick question for you. You know how that in that Boston Marathon, that during that same time the government was doing this operations or whatever?
Right.
I don't know if you...
I know what you're talking
about. What? Say it again?
I know where you're going back to the Boston Marathon bombing.
Okay, so the same thing is happening now with this solar eclipse, and they're going to start this 21-month, and I forget what it's called, blackout, Operation Blackout, or something like that, and I'm almost feeling like they are just this close to snapping all of our electricity. I mean, we're going to have... Do you see what I'm saying?
I do, and I have the same thought as you, actually. I didn't expect you to go there, but that's something I've been thinking about. For anyone who's never read my blog before, if you go to the very first post I made in 2013, I was concerned with what Janet Napolitano said right as she resigned from the head of DHS. She said it's not a matter of if, or what'd she say? Yeah, it's not a matter of if, it's only a matter of when the next 9/11 will occur, and we already know what the next 9/11 will be. It will be the U.S. power grid. That was what Janet Napolitano said when she resigned in 2013. At that same time that she resigned, there was all this programming for a national blackout. There was a TV show about it. There was a movie about it. There were books coming out about it. Even Newt Gingrich put out a fiction book about a national blackout.
Well, the funny thing is, about 6 months ago, there was some government guy, some guy or whatever that was over the electrical thing. He came on TV and he actually was telling everybody. He was saying, "Look, we got this problem. You know, it says most of our electrical grid is protected by like a wooden fence or something like that. Do you see what I'm saying? That there's no protection for none of it, that someone could take it out tomorrow. And he said, he said, you know what?
You better be ready, right?
He said, no, just to get some of those parts, we get them from another country, and to get those parts, it takes like 6 months. 6 months, 8 months.
So they're telling us, they're prepping us. They're prepping us. If this happened, man, we could be out of power for 6 months. That's what they want us to have in the back of our minds.
Right, but the thing about black people is we've been through so much.
It's a 21-month operation that's starting on the 21st. So what does all that mean? I don't know.
Yeah, that's how they do it, though.
That's next Monday. Right. That's next Monday.
I'm glad you gave me that.
There's some people saying that actually the sun's going to go dark for more than that. It could go for 3 days. But I don't know. You know,
that's not going to happen. Those are the people.
That's all propaganda, though. You see, they do all this just to scare people, and nothing's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? They just do this just to scare people.
Well, I find it interesting that they're doing this Operation Blackout, and it's starting on the 21st, and it's going to be a 21-month operation. I forget what the name of it's called. It's like Operation, Dark Sun or something like that.
I'll do some more research and put up a post on my blog if you know where that's at.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
I love your videos. I look forward to them all the time.
Well,
thank you very much.
You're very welcome. Just so you know, though, I probably won't do a video on it, but I'll put up a blog post on my written blog on this thing starting on the 21st. I appreciate the heads up.
Oh, thank you. Okay.
All right. You have a good night. Call us back soon.
Okay,
you take
too.
care. All
I
right.
will. Bye.
Bye. Yeah, next time, hopefully, she won't have to wait an hour. That's a long time to wait. We got another person who's been waiting for an hour. I'm sorry, you guys. A lot of you have been waiting a long time tonight. Massachusetts, New York, I'm coming up. Massachusetts, you got the floor.
How you doing, Zach?
Doing well. How are you?
Good. First, I want to say, if you write out 218 as a word, it sums to 97, just like August solar eclipse. 218, 21/8, August 21st. 97, the number for death. Think about all the deaths we've heard about leading up to it.
Right.
August solar eclipse also sums to 223. Could that be a coincidence? I don't think so. Considering that there is an eclipse happening, and we see the number 223 as a very significant number to Freemasonry. Think about how 223 connects to the circle. The solar eclipse is a circle.
Yeah, those are good observations.
Yeah, and if I'm not mistaken, 223 plus 137 equals 360, right?
You're right about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I just typed those out as of right now, and I just discovered that, so I figured I would share that with you. But there's also something else I would like to share that's actually a little more important.
Go ahead.
Well, I've been on this Gematria stuff since February. That's when I came across your channel, and it only took me 3 days to really learn about it, so I'm pretty much on it every single day, every chance I get. But I've done a lot of digging, and I read about the Oculus Society. Have you ever heard about them?
Occultist, or what was the word?
Oculus.
Oculus. Oh, no, tell me about it.
Well, it's funny that you mentioned occultist, because there was this documentary that I watched about the Oculus Society, and the guy in the documentary thought that it also said occult, but it actually said Oculus.
Huh.
But in the documentary, the guy talks about how the Oculus Society used Gematria. And they actually had this encrypted manuscript consisting of 75,000 handwritten characters filling 105 pages in a bound volume. It was undeciphered for more than 260 years. The document was cracked in 2011 with the help of modern computer techniques. And it was an international team consisting of Kevin Knight, which is kind of an interesting name, considering that the word Knight has Gematria of 33. And it turns out that the Oculus Society was a group of Freemasons. And the founder of it was Frederick August von Veltheim, who died April 1775, just before the Bavarian Illuminati was established. And the interesting thing about the Oculus is that they use a lot of eye symbolism, whereas the Illuminati, the only eye symbolism we know of is the all-seeing eye. But the Oculus Society uses a lot of eye symbolism. As a matter of fact, the Oculus Society was responsible for starting, well, they were ophthalmologists, like eye doctors. But the way they did stuff was very different.
You know what I realized about this Oculus Society? Just in Gematria, it sums to 74 and 187, You just said it's a bunch of Freemasons.
That's predictable.
Yep.
The 74 and the 187.
Yeah, and the interesting thing is that if you write out Frederick August von Veltheim, it sums to 314 and 134.
Huh. Great work, brother. Hey, we're going to commercial.
Can't anybody see? We've got a war to fight. Never find our way.
It's the last half hour already, Truth Seekers. We've got 3 callers on the line, New York, Florida, and Mississippi. Going to take those calls. Before the end of the show, we got to talk about some notes on the football, and I got to share what the Harlem Globetrotters achieved last week from a helicopter, the world's first bucket from the helicopter. No doubt there are technology being used in these balls to guide them through hoops.
That's how Steph Curry and J.R. Smith did all those long three-pointers.
Exactly. This is how they're mocking you. They really are using technology. I have not been wrong.
Kevin Durant, it's impossible for all these shots to go in like that.
Yeah. Do you remember that shot Westbrook threw up from half court?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, with the second left.
Oh, my God. That's what I mean. Somebody who doesn't play these sports, they might not see how they're not right. But, I mean, if you play these games, you should be able to see. So, anyhow, caller's been waiting for an hour. I don't like to keep people waiting this long. New York, how are you this evening?
Pretty good. How are you doing?
Doing well. How are you, Michael?
Not too bad. I just wanted to call in real quick. I had a couple of things to say. I was when I texted you, I think it was yesterday. In the King James Version of the Bible, the word Satan is mentioned 55 times total.
55.
And yes, sir. And we all know that Satan equals 55. And
in this case, King James also equals 55. And the word God,
yes,
and the word numerology, and the word Fibonacci. King James equals 89, which is the Fibonacci number that comes after 55 as well. His name sums to 2 different Fibonacci numbers. Special guy.
And I have a couple of NFL observations as far as this upcoming Super Bowl. I do believe it's going to be for the NFC Championship game. I think it's going to be the Cowboys and the Giants, and I have a feeling that it's going to be the Cowboys that end up in the Super Bowl, because I was doing a little digging and. With the whole thing with the Ezekiel Elliott suspension and all that.
Right.
Well, Elliott equals 93, and it turns out that last year, his rookie season, he had exactly 322 rushing attempts last year.
Huh.
I found that pretty interesting as well.
Are you sure his name has Gematria of 93? Elliott?
Elliott, yeah. Just his last name, Elliott, not his full name. I think it's 93, if I'm not mistaken. I could be right. I thought it was.
I'll check
anyway.
it. It's okay. It's okay. I'll check it out afterwards.
But yeah, I mean,
I gotta. We talked about like who I thought is gonna go. We talked about that last week, but this is just a little bit I have on the Colts. Like the Colts, the Indianapolis Colts are always a team that you have to look at. So this is what I have, right? Frank Gore is from Miami. Gore equals 27 full reduction, 45 in English ordinal. Miami equals 27 full reduction, 45 in English ordinal. Perfect for a running back from Miami that played for the Hurricanes. T.Y. Hilton, the star wide receiver, is from Miami. The star wide receiver that plays for the Colts.
T.Y. Hilton equals 93.
Okay. He turns 28 in November. It's make or break time for Luck in his 6th year. 6 equals 52. Yep. Like Super Bowl 52. Yep. Man equals 28. Number equals Luck 28. 6 and 28
this year as well.
Yeah, Luck turns 28 too. 6 and 28 are the first two perfect numbers. 6 and 28 are the first two perfect numbers. Man, like you said, Zach, the most perfect machine made on the 6th day. He's the second highest paid QB in the NFL behind Derek Carr. This league is not going to pay you that kind of money if that's what he's really getting paid, to be a mediocre, run-of-the-mill, average quarterback. Andrew Luck will turn 28 on September 12, 2017. Will Luck go from a boy to a man at 28 and take the Colts all the way? So far, he hasn't really done much in his scripted NFL career this far. Once Brady retires, the league will be scripted around Luck. Keep in mind, Luck has never had a losing season. This includes high school. Luck's never had a losing season, including high school. He's never had a losing season, period.
Right. Get this, too. He's been sacked a total of 156 times. When you write out 33, it's 156.
Right. Yeah, that's a special number there, 156. Hey, I did verify Elliott is 93, which is the number of Saturn, which is the coordinates for Minneapolis on the 93rd meridian. Minneapolis, Minnesota, again, sums to 93. And I was thinking about his 6-game suspension. I think it might have gotten reduced, but at first it was 6 games, the big number this year.
Well,
Saturn.
He appealed it,
yeah, Saturn is the 6th planet having that Gematria 93. So the numbers that are being put before us with Elliott and 6 and it's not coincidental. It's a good observation. So Cowboys, Giants. That's what we said at the beginning of the show. In the NFC, we like those teams a lot this year.
Also, too, I wanted to throw this in there real quick. When you write out 156 and 141 as a word, they both sum to the same thing in reduction, ordinal, and reverse ordinal.
Huh.
And English ordinal, it sums to 226 when you write out 156 and 141.
Wow.
So I thought that was very interesting.
Man. Good job, Michael.
No problem. I'll let you get to your last couple of callers there, and I'll let you guys go.
All right, brother. I appreciate you hanging around, being so patient, and then dropping the knowledge. You have a good night, friend. You stay strong.
Thank you.
Not a problem. You guys have a good.
All right, take care, Michael. All right, we got Florida and Mississippi. So Florida, calling from Jonathan's neighborhood. How are you, Florida?
I'm well. How are you, brother?
Doing well.
I've actually watched your videos for the longest time, and I can't even explain how much you just changed my perspective, my point of views on things. And I like researching these numbers almost every day. I mean, I see that it's everywhere now. So there were just a couple things I wanted to just kind of go over.
You got it, man. The floor is yours.
So for the Mayweather and Conor McGregor fight, I saw that it's Irish equals 216, and the amount of days it was from the announcement date to the fight is 2 months, 1 week, and 6 days.
Okay.
And then I know undefeated was 50, but also defeated is 50.
Huh.
So a little thing there.
And McGregor's 52. That's a good observation that you made with defeated. That's interesting.
Right. And then just some things on that I caught my eye. I was watching a Lana Del Rey promo video for one of her album, I think. And they're about 30 seconds in, it shows a window in the background. It's Hollywood. And the window frame is literally the sigil of Saturn. And the numerology she uploaded that video was 42 and 69.
Perfect. Saturn numbers.
I remember one time on the radio you were talking about what you think the most important numbers were, after 33, 74, 47. I see 42 everywhere.
Oh, absolutely.
Everywhere.
Absolutely.
216, that's another one. 51, 41, I've been seeing those everywhere.
Yep.
And then just a little thing on Gematria and my name. My name is Cody, and in Jewish, that's 457. That's the 88th prime number. My initials, CER, are also 88 in Jewish. My full name, Cody Edward Raber, is 88 in reversible reduction. The gamer name I've always used for gaming, KELWINN, 88. And the last 2 digits that I use for my password for everything is 88. And me and my best friend, our initials are exactly the same. And I've typed in so many different combinations of 3-letter things.
That's crazy.
So, kind of one more thing I want to go over. When you were saying all these people are calling in, they're Zach, be cool, you got this. We learn everything from you, so I know you got this, but you're saying how you wanted to share the knowledge with memes, and I think that is a good idea. And then I was going to say, just make one solid video about certain numbers here and there, and then when your channel got deleted, I first saw the videos on the How to Gematria where you go over the fish and New York and the 5-part series.
Right.
I was that is perfect. That's something I think. So in high school, I knew a lot of people. I have 4,000 friends on Facebook. It is really hard to get people to understand this kind of things, and they just do not have the attention span for it, or they think it's bull immediately. I think a solid video like that, I think that is the best way to catch anyone's attention, because I've been following you for so long. You don't understand how much this changed my life. Even these books I read, it always comes back to Saturn. It always comes back to Zionism. So I know this is legit stuff, So I thank you for everything you share and how much time you put into these and how much criticism you take, and I just think it is absolutely amazing what you do.
I appreciate it, friend, and I do it for all the people like you who appreciate it and take the time to apply it themselves and make the discoveries. So you make it all the worthwhile. And I also appreciate your feedback there. The book, I'm writing it in the beginning so that everybody can get into it, and hopefully it won't turn anybody off. And after I finish the book, something I want to do is do a reading of the chapters and then find somebody who can make a good video and then have a nice video overlay to go with the narration of what I'm reading, so that people get the full visual display with the information presented in an undeniable way. I just think that if I can put that together, then people will not be able...
Right, like a cartoon, Right.
You got to have the visual there that's done right, with the right presentation, with the right narration. You bring that together, then you'll wake up more people. People who don't digest it yet, they'll digest that. So that's the goal.
Yeah, for sure. And the most mind-blowing one is the New York and the 39 and the 93. Like, I just think that is so undeniable. Like, I don't know what anyone can say about it.
Right. Yeah. And it happened again this week. This week, there's a New York versus New York baseball series, the Yankees and the Mets, and they were sure enough to schedule that to start on the date with 39 numerology. And they do this stuff every year in sports.
But that's like too much 39. Like, without it being, how can you just say it's a coincidence? I mean, this is too much 39 in this. Like, everywhere you look, it's a 39 when it comes to New York.
Right.
Or 93. We were talking about 93 last week.
Whenever you can present this information to somebody, what's always important is to find examples where beyond what's just coded into the words, you can give them some other examples. Like in New York, we know that everything's coded 39, but plus the United Nations there that's 39 floors tall, and then New York's date of establishment is a date with 39 numerology. And then you look at their history. Their first governor's George Clinton, born in 1739, and then you look, George and Clinton equal 39. And, I mean, just nobody should be able to...
Eli Manning wears number 10. When you write 10, it gives you 39.
Right. And somebody look up the score of that first Cowboys-Giants game last year for me.
Oh, it was 20 to 19. I know it was 20 to 19. I knew that by heart.
Exactly.
Because I won money on the Giants.
Exactly. And I told people before that game was played that they were coding 39, and there was something about that game, and then boom, you get a 39-point game. It's just, and wasn't it September 11th too? I mean,
and that was like the only game Dallas lost all year. They just ran through the league right after that.
Right. Until they played the Giants again. I think they gave them their first two losses.
Yep. And then the Giants gave them another loss. Right.
And G-Men equals 39. Just like Cowboys equals 39. Yeah, it's just 39 show.
Oh, it's beautiful. Just one more thing I wanted to tell you. Just when you said LeBron would go to New York, and now we have all these things about Kyrie wanting to go to New York. And then on Instagram, Bleacher Report posts pictures of LeBron in New York jerseys, and like, he is leaving, right? And Kyrie's leaving. And I'm like, my friends still can't even, like, I don't understand how you can't, that's not something to, like, give you a little hope. It's just crazy when you try to show this to people. Like, when I first found your video, I was watching some other girl. I'm not a huge conspiracy. I mean, I knew, it was getting bubbly out there. But when your first video I saw was the David Rockefeller one. And the first time I saw it, it absolutely blew my mind. And just when I try to show people this and tell them this, and they don't even seem interested by the slightest bit, it's like, at least
that was probably the best. That was probably the top 5 of all time. That David Rockefeller that he ever has. That's probably in the top. Oh yeah, it have to be in the top.
That video literally changed my life for sure.
Well, that video was the first video of mine that got a lot of views in a single day, and then it happened again with the Cleveland shooting. But I'm glad that video reached you, man. I mean, you haven't been here that long, then.
I found you in February, and I've been keeping up ever since. I posted a few times on YouTube, and you've probably replied to me. My name it's Cody Raber on Google, and you've replied to about 3 of my things, and even that inspires me. And I'm like, yes, like I show my friends that kind of are into it. They're like, no, and it just makes me want to, get the word out with that. Like, it just seems like people really don't think, and it's crazy to me.
Well, we're going to make them think, yeah, man. We're going to get this message out there bigger and better. I really appreciate your call and all your feedback. Call us back soon. Stay strong, friend. You take care.
Absolutely, brother. Appreciate you, Zach. Have a good one, brother.
Absolutely. Appreciate you too, man. I appreciate everyone listening. Thank you for everyone who listens, who uses the knowledge, who spreads the word. We're going to take these next 3 calls: Mississippi, Pennsylvania, New York City. Before I take those 3 calls, though, I just got to let you guys know about what happened last Wednesday with the Harlem Globetrotter in a helicopter shooting a basketball and putting it through a hoop down on the ground. They said 210 feet below. Now, CNN kept this up as a feature story with a 57-second story timer showing the flight of the helicopter and the shot that banked in off the backboard through the hoop. 57's relevant here. Harlem equals 57. This is a Harlem Globetrotter. The word helicopter equals 57. The word backboard, 57. Trick shot, 57. Entertainer, 57. This happened on August 9th, 8/9. The only other time I did a video about the Harlem Globetrotters is when it was a national news story that one of their longtime original members died at age 89. Harlem Globetrotters equals 89. So does Sweet Georgia Brown, the theme song for the Globetrotters. This story came on 8/9, August 9th.
So he was in the helicopter and he shot the ball from 57 feet?
No, 210 feet. 210 feet above the hoop.
But where he was inside of the helicopter?
Yeah, he's inside the helicopter and he let it out from there. 210 feet. Yeah, everybody can look up this story. Just look up the story. Harlem Globetrotter helicopter. You're going to see it, man. And it's a big shot.
No, I saw it, but I didn't know all the details. That's crazy.
So check this out.
Crazy.
So his name is, first of all, he wears number 33 for the Globetrotters, the dude they did this with, and his name is Bull Bullard. From now on, when you want to call on my show and accidentally cuss, say bullsh. Just call in and say, man, that's some Bull Bullard right there. Bull Bullard. So Bull Bullard, number 33, put this through the hoop. Let's not forget that New York equals 33. Same with Harlem. He's a Harlem Globetrotter, Bull Bullard. Both the words bull and bullard also sum to 47, so there's our 33-47. But for the clincher, this was a date with 54 numerology. The ball went through the hoop after being dropped out of the helicopter and banking off the backboard. The ball went through the hoop on a date with 54 numerology. Hoop equals 54 forwards and backwards, ordinal and reverse ordinal. So perfect date for this ritual, for a Globetrotter, for everything, the timestamp on the CNN video, just everything. And this is what I've been talking about. Sports games, scripted by the numbers, plus technology is being used to add to the mocking. And something I want to add about this technology, on August 17th, it was a big sports story that Chris Christie caught a foul ball. The foul ball went right to Chris Christie in the stands. And I've been asking myself, how did the Steve Bartman incident really happen? Because if you've seen my work on Steve Bartman, he was sitting in seat number 113. His name's coded out. His birthday's coded out. The whole thing's perfect.
113 like BS?
Exactly. Like Bull Bullard. 113.
Bull Bullard.
Have they had technology that they can literally even steer the baseball while it's in the air? I mean, even for me as someone who plays baseball, it's hard to wrap my mind around. I'm just thinking about like the ball getting hit with the bat and how that should mess up whatever's technology's inside. But I'm just asking myself, how are they pulling this crap off? How are they doing it? I mean, technology.
It's possible, and technology is the only answer.
Right, and somebody called into my show about a year ago, back before we started, and they were saying that there was this suspicious hit in the baseball game that went right off the lens of the camera, and they're saying, do you think it was just a coincidence, or do you think that they had that ball fly into that camera perfectly for that effect? And I didn't know what to say, but after seeing this Chris Christie foul ball thing, and then Bull Bullard throwing the ball in after dropping out of the helicopter, I'm just saying, what all are they capable of in terms of steering these balls while they're in the air? There's something going on here. It's undeniable. You don't think that there's technology in the hoop putting it through, or the ball putting it through the hoop? Watch this Globetrotter story and then get back to me. And let's not forget that I put that information out there, just showing what was going on within college basketball in some games in the past. People said it was crazy then. It seems that in the year plus since I've said that, we've had so many different examples just trying to clue us in that's exactly.
That proves it. Because remember when that North Carolina shot, and then what's the name of the team that came back and hit the game-winning shot? What's the name of that team from Philadelphia up there?
The Phillies?
No, the college basketball team.
Oh, Villanova. You're talking about Villanova, North Carolina.
Yeah, remember when North Carolina hit the shot, an impossible three, and then Villanova comes right back down the court and hits a three, and they won the game?
Right. Yeah. And he tied the score at 74-74 with 4.7 seconds left. 74-74 with 4.7 left. Never mind that before the game I talked about, the technology. I talked about those numbers. The word magnets using the Sumerian is 474. 74-74 with 4.7 left. Impossible shot. We got to get these callers who are waiting on hold. Callers on hold. There's 3 of you to get. If you can keep your call to a minute, I'll appreciate it. Mississippi, you're up.
Hello?
Hello.
Okay, man, I was just trying to make sure that it was me talking. But anyway, I want to kind of piggyback on what y'all talking about with the basketball. I don't know if you ever heard of this movie. Well, first of all, my name is Drake, and I'm from Mississippi. Man. I'm going to go back. I'm going to say what everybody else saying, how they found your channel. I don't remember when exactly I found your channel, but I know when you started talking about the numbers that it locked me in because I'm great at math. All my life I've been constant with numbers. I don't know what it is. I don't know how it is, but I've always been constant and cohesive with numbers. But anyway, and I'm a huge sports fan. But anyway, I don't know if you ever heard of this movie called Summertime Switch, I believe is the name of it. And it's a scene in that movie where the guys are playing basketball. And the ball, every time they shoot the ball just gravitates with the rim. It kind of sticks with the rim. With a basketball, you know, the little rubber, the black rubber parts that glues the leather together.
Right.
They basically have in the movie, the technology, they put something in the around the rim, and the rubber part, once it get close to the rim, it's like a magnet to where the ball is spinning and then it kind of shoots through the hoop. But that's kind of cool how it is. I know I'm kind of all over the place, but it's kind of cool. That's kind of how I think it is in that movie. I believe it's called Summertime Switch. But anyway, man, another thing. Every time you're talking about you say 42, and I believe it says nigger. Right. It cracks me up every time you say nigger, bro. Like it's so funny to me. It is weird coming out of you because you're so serious and you say it. I mean, you obviously being whatever your nationality is, it's just hilarious. But yeah, that was pretty much what I was trying to say.
Well, I appreciate the call, man. And yeah, I just put it out there because I want people to know what's behind this word and why this word of hate exists and who crafted it and who taught it to us and what the undeniable code is and how it's been used throughout history. So, some people don't like that I say the word. I don't say the word to be offensive. I just say it because this is what it is, you know?
It's just another divide and conquer word. That's all it is.
Yeah. I'm from Mississippi, and obviously y'all know the perception of Mississippi, how it is. It doesn't upset me until I make it upset me. You follow what I'm saying? And
sure.
this whole race thing that's going on. At the end of the day, we're not a race, bro. At all. Right. We're not colors. Like you're not white, you're not black. You put those colors next to you, it don't describe at all. And once you understand that, you understand the world.
Right. We just got to see each other as people. We ran out of time. Person on hold in New York, call me back next week. I apologize. It's all good, Mississippi. I appreciate
Truth Frequency Radio is your #1 source for news